Hey everybody, welcome to Athena After Dark. I hope you all had a great week. We have tons of cool stuff going on, so let's kickstart this baby and get it rolling. All right, awesome. We have upcoming events for April. Outer Banks Bike Week 2023, April 22nd through the 30th in that's right up North Carolina area. So that, and then the next week we have Leesburg Bike Fest. If you've never been, it's an awesome event, April 28th through the 30th. And get ready because in May is a super exciting month. We have the Tennessee Motorcycles and Music Revival, and then also the BC Moto Show is there, which is exciting. That's Bill Dodge's show, and you get a chance, go there and see it. And then also in Tennessee, we have the Sons of Speed Tennessee Jam. That's the same weekend. So it's a fun packed weekend. Get out there and ride your motorcycles. The weather's starting to turn to that area of the country where you guys are getting your riding season back. Here it's always 100 degrees, so we're always riding.
It's only 87 tonight, man.
Yeah, it's only 87 tonight. Don is pushing buttons tonight. He's doing a great job, and I have to say thank you to him because he's amazing. He does all the crazy cookie stuff for me. He puts up with all my stuff, so it's awesome. Okay, ladies, so I announced a contest the last couple episodes, and now we're going to announce the winners. So if you send an email or a message for our Learn to Ride contest, I picked 2 ladies from the participants, and they're going to be receiving a full rider course, compliments of Harley Davidson. And drum roll, please. Okay, one day we'll have production where he can push the button and give you a drum roll. You're so good. I love you. Okay, Priscilla Hatch from Old Fork, Oklahoma, and Maribel Fisher from St. Augustine, Florida. I'm going to send you an email and send me your mailing address. I will shoot them out to you so that you can go ahead and be among the ranks of the ladies out there who are riding and enjoying it and having a good time, experiencing life on the road. All right. So our next segment, because I'm excited. I always have great guests, so I get so excited. Okay, brought to you by Techno Research. The question is from Teresa, Midland, Texas. I was wondering if you have any suggestions for packing on a cross-country trip. I'm riding a 2005 Road King from Texas to Laconia in June, and I'm not sure how to go about packing as it's my first long-distance trip. Hi, Dennis. I see you. Okay, Teresa, I can tell you that packing is never easy, but if you do it right, you get all your stuff. Saddlemen tactical bags, they're incredible. The one that you see on the screen is the tail bag. You can put that over your back seat. You have your saddle bags. You can get into all of it, and it packs really well. They have a couple other bags that you can strap on top of it, but whatever you do, don't make the leaning tower of motorcycles. Before you go on the road, put all your luggage on and ride around at least 20, 30, 50 miles so that you know how it's packed. Hey, Lance Baxter from Leesburg. We were just talking about Leesburg. Lance will be up there. Him and his wife just had a fantastic anniversary. She is the love of his life. So hello to Mrs. Baxter too. Yeah, tactical bags from Saddlemen. They're fantastic. A lot of my customers asked the same question. We went on a trip over the summer, and I found that was really, really a good recommendation for a lot of the riders. So they enjoyed it, and they're not super expensive. I believe that bag on the screen is about $160, and boy, can you pack a lot of stuff in it. Okay, and roll your stuff up nice and tight. So hopefully that's helpful to you, and I suggest you check out all their stuff. You can find it on saddlemen.com. Dennis Kirk, you can find it there too. So go ahead and look up that stuff and let me know how it goes. If you need any other pointers, just email me, and I'll be more than glad to give you any input that I can to help your ride better. Miss Boots, compression bags and laundry soap strips. There you go. See, I love it. My friends are tuning in, and they're also commenting. So hopefully that is another great suggestion for you. I think that that's a good one. Now, Miss Boots went on the Chicks on 66 ride, and she rocked it. She always was the best dressed, her and Betsy. So it was pretty cool. And so we'll get a lot of tips. Anything anybody wants to share, please do. And I'll go ahead and I'll send it over to Miss Teresa. All righty. Okay. So next we're going to do our dose of goodwill. Okay. So I usually ask our guests to pick their favorite charity, and we talk about it. So tonight's guest, she told me one of her favorite charities is bikerdown.org. Biker Down was founded in 2011 by avid motorcycle rider Lori Montoya. And we know Lori. She was on a ride when several bikers went down. In 2021, Biker Down Foundation has a whole host of chapters, and they got a few other chapters, and we'll talk about that tonight. But what they do is they help people who go down, their families and whatnot, the emotional support, financial assistance, medical equipment, and so much more. They do Christmases for the families. They do all kinds of stuff. It's really awesome. So please check that out. Volunteer, donate if you can, spread the word, and participate however you can, because it's an awesome cause. And we all know what it's like. There are times when you need help, especially after an accident, and the families too. They go through it just as much as the rider does. All righty. Okay, now we're going to give Dawn some practice, and we're going to play our little commercial for Seaside Subs. So here you go. Let's see how he does on his button pushing.
Hi, I'm Dawn. Me and Andrew own Seaside Subs at Deerfield Beach. Come see us. We'll make you a great sub. Have a great day. Subs at Deerfield Beach.
He did it. That's awesome. Good job, babe. Kudos. You'll get extra cookies for that one for sure. All right. So super fun tonight. I'm so excited. This evening, I'm honored to have an incredible woman who just flat out rocks. She does. Miss Shannon Dazzlin Venturo. She's a writer, an author. She's an ASM, accident scene management instructor, and she's so much more. She works for Full Throttle Law. She is the brand manager. She's doing some incredible stuff. So I'm excited to have her on tonight so that we can talk about all those things. We're going to go through some pictures because everybody knows I like to look at the pictures first. It's awesome. That way you get to know them a little bit. And okay. And there she is. Look at her. Watch out for motorcycles. She's an advocate. All right. There she is. And she's the founder of the Bling Divas Motorcycle Club. And we'll talk about that some too, but there they are putting memorial flags on. I absolutely love that. And then there she is rocking out with a band. Oh yes. She's gorgeous. Look at her. She's always on point too. She judges bike shows. There she is judging a motorcycle show, I'm sure. And then, don't forget the fun. She definitely is fun. I know that for a fact. All right. Lori Montoya. Oh, we appreciate you commenting. And yes, we support Biker Down Foundation for sure. All right. Okay. Look at that. It says it all. I am my family's first responder. She's a first responder for a lot of things and a lot of people. So she's the go-to girl. And then there's peanut butter. We're going to talk about that. I was perplexed about that, but I'm sure we get the story behind that, because look at all that peanut butter. Peanut butter is good for you, protein, all that. But I mean, okay, there's a story behind that. I'm excited to hear that one. There she is. She's racing her bagger. I know that's what it is. I just absolutely know it. I have a few more shots of that in there. So, and then there you go. Says it all, right? Put your hand up. Get off your phone. Boy, I need her to send me some of those because we could use that. That works better than, the bird flying. There she is on Open Road Radio. She's been a guest host or a co-host. I apologize for that. Hello, Carolyn Shirley. Nice to have you here. Okay, we got a few more pictures there. And okay, here's another one. And this one, I want the story behind that too. So I believe on there, it says, babe, can you see that?
Ross Radcliffe?
No, at the top. All the way at the top on the black. It's something for Sarah. And I wanted to ask her about that. That's okay. I know you're blind back there. That's why he hangs out with me, just so you guys know, because he's blind in one eye and he can't see out of the other. And she rides the shit out of her motorcycle. There she is in Sturgis. We all love that shot. I think everybody loves to get that shot. Says, yep, I'm doing it. Okay, there she is. See, she's racing. I see other motorcycles behind her. So definitely want to get that out there. Hey, Shane, I see you from Wisconsin. And Connie, I understand why you guys love Dazzlin for sure. I love it. That is fantastic. Okay. Look at all those motorcycles. And she puts events together. She coordinates rides. She works with everybody. She's always on point. I keep losing this dumb earbud. Well, maybe we'll get a cool set of headphones one day. Look at that. Okay, there it is. The Full Throttle Law van. And she's out there doing cool stuff. I love it. More racing. Look at all the bling all over the side of her motorcycle too. So, and there it is. I love this shot. So she has her own champagne shenanigans, the Dazzlin champagne. I mean, I thought that was super cool. And I do believe there's a story behind that. Now there she is with her Bling Diva sisters. That's a fantastic shot. They're all gorgeous. Look at them all smiling, having a good time. I love it. It's incredible. All right. Okay. We're going back one, Dawn says. Okay. There she is All right. Look at that. That's a shot. Got to be in Colorado somewhere, something like that. That is a fantastic shot. She does. She rides. And then I captured this one. This is her many birthdays ago. I love that. She's so cute. She's still as adorable. She's a beautiful woman, but she got that adorable in her too, for sure. And then this just goes to show the kind of person that she is. I love this photo. This is an amazing photo. Fantastic. I'm gonna assume maybe that's her grandma or some older woman that's very important to her. But that says it all. When you see that on her website or on her Facebook page, that just tells you the heart that she has, because that was an important shot and she put it there. So I'm in awe of that. So, okay, those are our fantastic photos. And if you guys are ready, I'm super excited to bring her in. Cindy Lucero, I see you. Yes, she is an amazing woman. Thank you all for watching. I am greatly appreciative. I'm so honored to have her here. Okay, we're going to bring in Miss Shannon Dazzlin Venturo. Dawn's going to unmute her mic so I can hear her.
Hi, Athena. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am honored. I'm blessed. I'm moisturized, and I'm ready
I
for
love
you.
it. I am so honored to have you here, more than you know. I'm just in awe. We have so many cool things to talk about, and I just hopefully I got everything in there for sure. So we want to talk about, first of all, peanut butter. I have to know.
Okay, so every year in September, so September is Hunger Action Month nationwide, and one of our touchstones and missions with the Bling Divas and in our bylaws is one of our charities is going to focus on food insecurity and specifically food insecurity with children. And so September is Hunger Action Month. So about 6 years ago, we created a peanut butter drive, and it runs right with our annual. And in the month of September, we spend the entire month putting boxes all over the city to collect peanut butter. And we've got some amazing partners. And to date, we have collected enough peanut butter to provide over 350,000 meals. So 1 pound of peanut butter feeds 6 nutritious meals. And we donate that peanut butter to 2 charities, 3 Square, which is a part of Feeding America, the largest food bank in the country. And 3 Square is the largest food bank here in Las Vegas. And then we donate about 1,500 pounds to Share Veterans Village. And they put that in their pantry, and it's enough peanut butter to provide peanut butter in that housing development for our veterans for pretty much the whole year. And so that's what we do. Peanut butter is a great source of protein. It doesn't have to be refrigerated. It's lovable and kids like it, and it's perfect for latchkey kids. And so that's what we do. And last year, the picture that you put up was our most successful year. There's more people that are food insecure, meaning they don't really know where their next meal is coming from. And 1 in 6 children is suffering from food insecurity. So last year, we raised almost $8,000 in cash and about 11,400 pounds of peanut butter. So that's what you see there. It was our biggest year yet. And every year we seem to get more donors, and it's just been a great event for us.
That is absolutely amazing. I knew there had to be a story like that behind it. And everyone that I told you, she's amazing. She's got a heart of gold. And there you go. You have the story behind it. All right. So we have a couple other things to talk about.
Sure.
You have an upcoming event that you are getting ready for in June. And you are going to
Yeah,
ride.
absolutely. So on July the 2nd at 3 o'clock in the morning, I am going to ride 48 states in 10 days. So it's about
Yes.
1,000 miles a day. And I started the journey of getting healthier and building my strength and endurance on January the 1st. My last loaded baked potato was on New Year's Eve. And I can tell you that on the 15th of July, the first thing I am going to eat is a fully loaded with more toppings than you probably think is reasonable baked potato. Uh, it
I
was a
love it.
challenge that was thrown out to me by a gentleman that's a member of the Rare Breed Motorcycle
Okay.
Club out here. His name's
Familiar.
Gorilla Blue, and he is a ground pounder and a asphalt bully, and he calls himself the highway burglar. And I'm going to be a highway burglarette, and I'm going to mark and steal miles at the rate of about 1,000 miles a day. And so I'm really excited about it.
Fantastic. That is awesome. And that's why I tell everybody the things that you hear on this show are incredible and inspiring because when you started that, um, I decided that I was going to be a little more healthier in the choices that I made for a while. So when you're done with
That's
the ride,
terrific.
I'm going to have a loaded baked potato somewhere on this side of the country along with you because I figured I'll hold out until you're done and then we can
That's
celebrate together.
fantastic. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. You know, when my son was in boot camp at the Marine Corps out in Paris Island, and one of the finalized things that they have to go through before they get their Eagle Globe and anchor as a Marine, and to be able to call themselves a Marine, is they go through something called the Crucible. And I don't remember, it's 2 or 3 days of humping with the pack, and they get 3, 4 MREs that they have to spread out over that
Mm.
time frame. And me and a group of other mothers whose kids were out there at Paris Island decided we were going to do the Crucible at home, and we were going to stay up all night, and we were going to not eat. And I can tell you, I didn't earn an Eagle Globe and Anchor at that point because I think I lasted about, I don't know, 12 hours before I needed a sandwich. But I appreciate that. You know, I have been in the fitness protection program for about 10 years. And I came out of retirement
I
on
love it.
January the 1st. And I have inspired a lot of people
You have.
to, and people that are listening right now, Carolyn Cupcake, Shirley, Lou Brown has lost about 40 pounds.
Okay.
Cupcakes lost about 20 pounds. And these are all people that said, if Dazzlin is the last person in the universe to go to the gym and control what she puts in her pie hole, then I can do it as well. So
That is
if I'm
awesome.
inspiring people to get a little healthier, then that's awesome.
Well, you did two things to inspire them to get a little healthier and inspire them to get out there and ride their motorcycles. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And tell your son, thank you. We appreciate his service. And thank you and your family for, sacrificing the time that you would normally be spending with him for him to be doing things for our country. We're grateful. And I think it's Semper Fi for the Marines,
Thank you.
correct?
I never got to serve in the military, and so another one of our very important values with the Bling Divas, and personally for myself, is to serve those that serve the country and are
Right.
all volunteer armed services. So I think everyone needs to be available to our veterans and do whatever they can to step up when they're asked to serve that 3% of the country.
Right. And then that's a big thing for me too. Even like many years ago, we'd go to Sturgis, pre-COVID and everything like that. And when everybody else was doing something, I would get a host of people together and ride over to the Veterans Hospital. And it was the most incredible
Oh, that's
time
great.
because they'd come out wheeling their oxygen tanks or whatever. And then you tell them, go ahead, sit on the bikes. And then if you just sit back, they start telling old stories between them and you just sit and listen and it's priceless. It is
It
priceless to hear
is.
that. And they're amazing. So, and because of them, we're here doing what we want to do. So we're
Absolutely.
always in their debt.
Freedom of the road is not free,
Nope.
and we sleep safe under a warm blanket of freedom every single night
That
because of
they
our vets.
provide.
So thanks to
That's
our
right.
vets.
Yes, thank you. All right. So then now we're going to talk about, now I know you're right. Sometimes I've seen me and my earbud. We're having a good time, me and my earbud today. I know that you've written some stuff. I loved your 10 tips on staying, cool. You wrote in Colorado Rider News, I believe it was. I thought that was a fantastic article. I love that.
Thank you.
And you're an instructor for accident scene management with Miss Vicky Sanfilippo,
I
correct?
am. I got certified a couple classes ago, And so normally Vicky reserves the right to become an accident scene management
Yes.
class 2 medical professionals, combat medics, emergency personnel. But I had taken the class 12 times. And so she asked me, I was super honored. She said, why don't you just become an instructor? You're going to continue doing this as part of what we do at Full Throttle Law. Jared, his give back to the community, one of those is that we have been sponsoring these classes. He's been sponsoring them from before Full Throttle. And that's how I got involved in it. I was a rider, and he was the attorney for the COC, the Confederation of Clubs here in Southern Nevada. And they offered the class, and I took it, and I thought it was amazing, and it was responsible to do it. And then I just started trying to get as many people together to do it. And then when I came to work for Jared, I got to help provide those classes, and helped Vicky apply for a Nevada grant, which she did a lot of work. Writing a grant for the state is crazy, and she did it, and the work just begins then. But since October, with our largest class being this Saturday, we have trained 175 riders just since October. And Jared, with the help of Full Throttle Law, we have trained over 500 riders to get certified in the accident scene management class. I've always worried, I know how to do it, but what about me? What about when I go down? And so having more of my friends, all my sisters have been through it. Most of them have been through the advanced class, and it's just important. It gives you that feeling when you're out there. If something happens, um, the reality of motorcycle accidents is they're super violent, and there's a lot of ways that you're not going to survive. And so even having the feeling that you did everything that you could, that you knew how to do something, that you can go home if that unfortunate thing happens, knowing that you did it all. And if you have the opportunity to save someone or minimize their injury, which are life changing, if you've ever been in a motorcycle accident or around people with motorcycle accidents, they are really life changing. So I love it. I'm honored to be an instructor, and I think that program is fabulous.
I tell everybody they need to take that course. I might just come out and see you and take your course one time, just so I can say I got to take your course.
I would
love
love
that.
it.
I'm
You
going to do
can
that. It'll be
come
like
out here and see me anytime. You can stay at my home. My honey will cook for us.
I
Yeah,
appreciate
come
that.
anytime. You're always welcome.
Same backwards. Anytime you want to come to sunny South Florida, we're here, right at the tip of the Bermuda Triangle. I tell everybody we live in hell because we're right at the tip of the Bermuda Triangle. It's kind of funny.
Wow.
It's ironic. Yeah, and it's always hot as hell here. So it's pretty cool. Okay, and so now we talked about, of course, you writing, you being an instructor. You're also very much a writer, but I did put some pictures up. You're racing your bagger. I saw that.
I am. And I didn't even know that I had a dream to get out on the track. But I have a good friend of mine, William Russell, who he calls himself Motor Freak 46. And
Okay.
46 was Valentino's number. So
Mhm.
he has that number, and he's a professional Motor America racer. And
Oh.
we got involved with him to help teach some braking classes, things about tires, curves, apex, all that. And he challenged me to get on the track. And I fell in love with going faster and faster and faster. And it challenged me to build a better beast of a bike. And so that bike that I ride on the track, she's a beauty and a beast. She's got big cams and valves and Galford brake system, and
A's.
Yeah, I can drag bag with that thing.
That's so awesome. I
It's
saw that
just
and I was like,
fun.
she's
I'm not winning any
racing.
races.
Oh,
Kyle
that's
Wyman
okay.
is not gonna ask me to come out with him, but, it's just fun. It's a lot of fun.
I love it. Jess Begg says track star butt burners, 48 states in 10 days and saving lives. Dazzlin does it all. I couldn't agree
Uh-huh.
more. That is fantastic. So, okay, well, that is very, very cool. How you feeling about some questions tonight? You ready?
Oh, let's do it. How are you
Okay.
feeling about me stumbling?
Oh, yeah, Don reminded me. I did want to ask, whose hand are you holding in that photo?
That's my mom.
That's so
So, my
awesome.
mom was someone she's still alive. I know that I go visit her. I don't think she knows I'm visiting her, but
Mhm.
she got Alzheimer's and dementia really early. She's really a young overachiever at everything she does. So I don't know why she thought she needed to get dementia early, but I guess she's
Oh.
just gonna finish her life being an overachiever.
Mhm.
And during COVID, my mom got hurt in a nursing home in the memory care, and they didn't really care well for her and her injuries. So she's wheelchair bound now. And but
That's
she's
an
a strong
amazing
lady.
photo.
I love her. She's beautiful. And that was just me holding her hand a few visits ago. She's in Arizona, so I get to go out and see her about every 2 months.
Okay, well, that was an amazing photo. It touched my heart.
Thank
I was just like,
you.
wow, how incredible. I didn't even I just grabbed the photo and I was like, that says it all right there. So, and
Thank
I
you,
lost my mom to
sweetheart.
Lou Gehrig's and my dad. And so I get it. I have friends, that's not none of it's easy. So, but it's good that you it's at least go, like you said, it's like taking the
Yeah.
accident scene management class. I suggest everybody do that so that they know what to do if someone has an accident. And when you see others going through certain things, you know that the kind of person they are. If you have a question or you're not sure about something that you feel comfortable, you could reach out, and you have a heart of gold. So, and yeah, and we have a couple commenting on Connie says bless your mama, and I can only imagine that you're a product of your environment. So she has to be one really cool chick. So um,
She is. My mom did a lot of really cool things. She was an early person that used to work on whatever her flavor of the day political involvement was. I think my
right.
mom was every single political connection. And so she was super involved in city politics, state
Okay.
politics, national politics. So she's a smart lady. She graduated magna cum laude at age 60, right before she started
Oh,
getting sick with her master's in hospital
that's
administration. And yeah, she's just a
cool.
smart girl, smarter than
That's
me.
ins- that's
I think I got part of my
inspiring.
daddy's brain.
Hey, a nice mix of everything works really well. That's how it
Yeah.
is. Okay. So, Miss Boots, I will get you information on how to take the accident scene management class. I saw the website today. It's there, and we're getting ready to load it. So it's exciting. I've had a little input. That's been a struggle, but we'll get through it. Okay, we're gonna get to the questions. First, we're gonna do the fun questions. So
Okay.
just for fun, dogs or cats?
I like dogs and cats, and I have both, but Flossie, my Cavalier King Charles, is my most beautiful late in life baby ever. I love her. She's 3. She's like just a little love, and she lost her hearing over the last couple of weeks.
Oh,
We're still trying to figure all that out, but she's just a doll. I love her. So I would have to say dogs.
okay. All right. Apples or oranges?
If it's juice, both. I don't particularly like to eat either one of them. I can't swallow apple peels. That's it. I can swallow a lot of things, but apple peels is not one of them. So I would say I prefer the mouth feel and taste of bananas better than apples
Okay.
and oranges.
I like that answer. That's awesome. I love it. Outside the box. That's fantastic. Okay. Hotel or camping?
Glamping, both.
Glamping.
So I am not a camper in like where you have to lay down in a tent, with a sleeping bag and all that. I don't mind a toy hauler or even an air mattress in the back of my motorcycle trailer, but I am a titanium Marriott for life. So I was an executive for the Cheesecake Factory restaurants for
Oh,
20 years. So I traveled a lot. And if you have 1,000 nights in 10 years, you become lifetime titanium. And my sister works for the Ritz Carlton. So I do love my friends and family Marriott discount. So
I love it.
I'm going to say hotel. I
That
like
is
running water in a flat iron.
that is fantastic. Okay, slow, fast, or faster?
Faster, faster, faster,
Yes.
faster,
That's
faster.
cool. That's a good answer. I like it just like that too. That's perfect. Okay, sunshine or moonshine?
Moonshine in the sunshine.
I like
So
that.
I like apple pie moonshine after a nice ride out in the sun. I like the moonshine in Sturgis. I always try to take back a few jars and then they last, throughout the year. We have friends and family over. So I like to go to Full Throttle Saloon and pick up a moonshine and I like the peach.
Okay, that's a good answer. All right, next question is what is your favorite song?
Okay, so I like anything Bon Jovi. Okay. I prefer the Slippery When Wet album the best. So probably Living on a Prayer. So Bon Jovi is a Pisces like me. His birthday is March the 2nd. Mine is March the 8th. So I do celebrate John's birthday every year by taking my autographed photo of John and putting him on the pillow next to me and singing happy birthday to him.
I love it. That is awesome. That is so
In
fantastic.
fact,
That is
if you go to my page and you search John Bon Jovi, you will see John's autograph picture in my bed.
that is fantastic. I like that. What is your favorite road food?
Food,
Road food. Oh,
any kind of
food?
food,
Any kind of food?
food. I'll tell you, there's a group here in Las Vegas called the Sin City Moto Girls, and they're fantastic. It's a beautiful community of girls. They give classes to women to learn how to ride, and they are all kind of tiny, like younger, real pretty girls, kind of like the Litas. They're a little different than Chunky Dazzlin. And I remember the first couple of times I went on a road trip with them. How much longer are we going to go before we eat? And I said, "Are we going to eat today?" And I remember one of them said, "I had a pear." Like, you had a pear? What what is a pear gonna do for you today? So
Right.
I like to ride. I've got a turn and burn breakfast club ride that we do about every month, and we'll take a ride to Yuma and have lunch, and it's about a 600-mile turn and burn. We'll go to the Breakfast Bitch in Phoenix. That is a fantastic place to go and have breakfast. There's one in San Diego also. If you like being treated terribly while having really good, delicious food, I recommend going to the Breakfast Bitch.
Okay, I like that. Might have to come out there and do one of those turn and burns with you. I like that. That's a good idea. I love to ride. It doesn't matter, and I like to go. Like I'll tell my husband, I'll say, Don, I'll say, babe, I want to go to Bennigan's. Well, the closest Bennigan's is like 200 miles away. So he's like, okay, lunch. We're gonna leave at 9. We'll get there by lunchtime. It's like, yeah, we can leave at 10 and still get there by lunchtime. So, and then we
Right?
make a day of it. We ride around and we come back, and that's why we own motorcycles. It's what we do. It's a fantastic time.
Exactly. If you come out to Vegas, I'm going to give a couple of shouts out because, everybody comes to Vegas at some
Yeah,
point. And there
right.
are a couple of really cool biker friendly places to go and eat. And one of my favorites, they do a ton of charity stuff where they just donated lunch for 300 people to the to a vet ride a couple weeks ago, and it's called Roadkill Grill.
Oh,
And they have the
nice.
best barbecue, every kind of meat, but they have the best macaroni and cheese on the planet. And I'm number two. I'm the number two macaroni and cheese maker in the universe, and they are first. I got to give it up
Okay.
to them. And the peach cobbler is delicious. So if you come to Vegas, please stop at Roadkill Grill because it's delicious.
Yeah. Any kind of other places that you got that we can go to? I mean, biker friendly. We love that, you know. And
Yeah.
I'm all about food. I love food. You know, what's not to love? Got to try everything.
Food's great.
Everything.
You do.
Okay. So if you were a cocktail, what would you be?
Okay, so they say you can tell a lot about people by what cocktail they drink. So they say people that drink rum and cokes are young at heart. Wine drinkers love to gossip. Vodka cranberry love to be in the center of action. Margarita drinkers enjoy individuality. Mojito drinkers have been around the block. I don't know what that means. Gin and tonic drinkers are sophisticated and cool. Vodka soda, you love to enjoy life without the guilt. And Dazzlin is a chocolate martini. I like chocolate
Oh,
martinis. A
I
classic
like that.
martini, sweet, devilishly decadent, easy to make, classic, festive, sneaks up on you.
I like that. I don't
That's
drink
me.
much, but I'm gonna have to try one of those.
What's red,
A
red,
chocolate
red, rum,
martini.
red, rum, red, what is that thing that you like?
Oh, I like a planter's punch sometimes.
There you
So,
go.
Oh yeah.
but that's
I like festive. I like juicy drinks, but there's just something about a chocolate martini.
yeah, I'm gonna try that one. I like chocolate, and I've had a couple good martinis, so that is definitely it. And Miss Marilyn is sharing the Road Guardians information with our viewers, so that is fantastic. Thank you, Miss Marilyn. I love you. All right, so now we're gonna get into some serious questions.
Okay,
How
serious.
how long have you been riding?
So I've been writing for a little over 12 years, I think. Not too long in the life of a biker. I didn't start writing till I was 47 years old. I was a kind of a late bloomer. I lost my husband in a divorce. It wasn't that bad. It was a good loss.
My drink almost
May
came
our
out my nose
relationship
when you
rest
said
in
that.
peace. And I wrote on the back. I wrote on the back, and I loved it. And hats off to ladies that ride on the back. But I missed it, and so for 3 years, I went into the dealership trying to buy a bike, and I would leave intimidated and with a new T-shirt. And then one day, my daughter said, "Mom, when are you going to buy a motorcycle and not another T-shirt?" And I said, tomorrow. So at 9 o'clock in the morning, I went to Red Rock Harley Davidson, and I had just come into some money. And so I wrote a check for $25,000, and I went in the dealership, and I went to the first salesman that I saw, and I handed him the check, and I said, "Don't let me leave today without buying a motorcycle." Meanwhile, I didn't even know how to start a motorcycle. I am the oldest son of two sons my dad never had. And he built midget race cars and dune buggies and sand rails. And, we were driving stick shifts by the time we were 10 years old. And so I never rode dirt bikes. Had never ridden anything with two wheels before. So when I say I didn't even know how to start it, I had no idea how to start it. But I knew how to use clutches and things like that. So I asked the salesman to give me a test ride on the back of the bike, and he said nobody's ever asked me to do that because I got to go and get permission. So he did, and he spent about 4 hours with me, and I selected a Softail Deluxe, and it had to be delivered, and it got delivered to my honey Stevie B's house. I didn't live here in Vegas then, I lived in Colorado. So it got delivered to his house, and his neighbor said, "Oh, you bought a bike." And he said, "No, no, it's my girlfriend's." He said, "Oh, she rides?" And he said, "No, she doesn't know how to ride." He said, "But she bought a bike?" I said, "Yeah, that's the kind of shit she does." And 2 weeks later, I went to the college and I learned to ride, and it just became a passion. And now I have 8 motorcycles. It's a sickness as well, and I love it. I can't
That is
imagine my life without motorcycles. I've met so many incredible people. Bikers are amazing. Athena, I met you through motorcycles.
yes.
You were one of my girl crushes.
Oh, you're
I
so
read
sweet.
about you going on the Chicks on 66 ride, and I met you down in Malibu, and that was the end of a really, really long ride, and you had a lot of responsibility as the mechanic for the ride. And my dad was a mechanic, and I grew up turning wrenches and working on cement mixers and lawnmowers and things like that. But since I've had motorcycles, I'm never gonna work on a Harley. I'm not there's too many electronics. I can do a 3-hole, and I'm gonna need to do it on the 48 state
Mhm.
ride, and I'll do it in the parking lot, and I'll win all day long with my Sin 3, but that's it. That's what extended warranties are for, and
Yeah.
great mechanics like yourself, we need to know how to do, the basic stuff like that. But so when I met you out at that hotel in Malibu, and I got to interview you for Open Road Radio, and I was just amazed. Were you gave me kind of a superficial story, and it was more about the Route 66, but we did get a little bit of time. Everybody was, scrambling, trying to get a piece of you and talk to you. And you guys were just exhausted and ready to just have a cocktail and decompress. And I knew eventually at some point I would get to spend some time with you. And I'm so honored that you brought me on your show, because I was like, that can't be me. She must have sent that to the wrong Shannon or something. She can't be wanting to talk to me, because
Absolutely
I'm
not.
just enamored with everything you do with your vagabond choppers, and you're just a rock star
I
and an
appreciate that.
inspiration to
I
me.
appreciate the kudos, but when I met you, and yes, Gypsy and I were very distracted. It was a long trip and everything like that. But as soon as I met you and we started talking, and we talked about the Bling Divas, which we haven't gotten a chance to talk about, but we are gonna right now, because
Okay.
we talked about you being the founder of the club, and I grew up around a 1% motorcycle club. My uncle always says that I would be in. Oh, I'm losing my earbud. I don't even know where it went now. I like this. These are my technical difficulties when I have them. They're good ones. It's okay. It was in my boob, and I just couldn't ask my husband to go.
They're good
I'm getting
catchers,
down.
aren't they?
You can sit down right there, sir. We're on camera. Just
I
saying.
wanted to help you find it.
He did. He's very helpful like that all the time, which I love him for that. But yeah, when I met you, we had talked about the motorcycle club. I grew up around a 1% motorcycle club, and my uncle always jokes about, if my dad would have really had a son, that I would be, in the ranks. It's a joke, whatever. It's you grow up, you learn things and whatnot. When you and I talked about the fact that you're doing it and you're the founder and you're involved in the Confederation of Clubs, you're doing things all over the country, you're doing charity events and veterans rides, and you stay on top of it, and that you give the respect, you earn the respect, you understand how all that works, which I guess a lot of people who watch TV, they think they get an inside of what they think they see. They don't know the real deal, which nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But I just, after our conversation and you gave me some insight and history on your club, I was just floored. I was like, and then you told me about your riding. And then, of course, I watched the Facebook and the things like that because I do want to stay on top of that. I mean, you're doing incredible things. And I just thought you were so neat when I met you. You had your hat with your brim up and you're rocking it. And you're like, ladies, I want to talk to you. And here, I'm going to do your interview now. She's busy. I got this. And I was just like, that is so cool. So yeah, I sometimes I guess I was trained a certain way where I'm paying attention to everything all at once. So sometimes I don't seem focused, but I hear everything you say. I do my best to always pay attention like that. So yeah, and I mean, you absolutely floored me. And I was very, very attracted to you in that regard of this is someone I'd like to build a friendship with.
For 220.
No wife's dealer. It's okay. He knows I'm not going anywhere. I
That's
love him. After this long, he
That's
get rid
good.
of me that easy. But yeah, no, I mean, like, you find people that you'd like to have as friends for a long time, like a lifetime. And I thought the world of you. And I was like, she's got what it takes. And I don't say that lightly because, I love everybody and I'm friends with a lot of people, but I really respect what you're doing. And then your organization and what they do. And you make it a point to do something good for your community. Always. That's in your, like you said, in your bylaws. So what's not to love about that? I mean, and you're the founder. So, and I get it. And we will get to spend some time together as you get to watch me sweat like yeah, I'm not even going to say it because I know it's an adult show, but it'd probably be bad. I might offend somebody, but yeah.
You're glowing. That J-Lo glow is very
Don's going to
popular
make,
right now.
now I'm riding. He gave me the
Hundreds
fan. So now I'm on handlebars here. I got the fan going. It's like 100 degrees in here. So it's pretty funny. Yeah, we don't never get a time. So Bling Divas, tell everybody about what you do and your girls and how you got started, because I want to hear that story.
Okay. I'd love to. So Bling Divas MC is an all-female motorcycle club that I founded in 2014 with 3 other ladies, Fireball, Cupcake, and Kitten. Kitten is my youngest and my only daughter, and she's the one that challenged me. All of my children rode before I did. And it used to scare me, and I would tell them, I don't want you on motorcycles, but they did their own thing. So they kind of made it easy for me to ride a motorcycle because they weren't going to tell me how scary and not good it was to ride a motorcycle because they all rode. And I was just looking for a tribe. I mean, that's what I was looking for. But I was looking for women that were not threatened by other women. So I love bossy, successful, beautiful, articulate women with minds, and not all women are like that. Some women don't like to not the center of attention, and I think it's okay for all of us to be the center of attention at some point. And so Fireball, who is the oldest member of the Bling Divas, she's been married 13 times. She's been around one percenters since one of them pulled her out of being a car hop at Sonic, I forget where. And so she's always been on the back of a bike, but she's been riding for over 40 years. And I saw her at this ride, and I saw her from across the parking lot. There was this ride brief going on, and I made eye contact with her, and I was like, oh, I want to go meet this girl. And she'll tell you that she said, oh my God, don't talk to me. This girl is too bubbly. Like, she's been riding for like 3 minutes. Don't come near me. And I saw her, and we went to lunch at wherever the ride was. And she told me 10 fucked up stories from like all about everything in the motorcycle world that's scary. And then she says, we should go ride together. And I was like, crazy lady, you just told me 10 fucked up stories. I'm not going riding with you. And so she says, okay, well, then let's go to the gym. I'm like, do I look like I go to the gym? No, we're not riding. We're not going to the gym. And we rode back to the city from the Pioneer together, and it just forged this amazing relationship. And then I met this other girl named Cupcake, Carolyn, and she and me and a Cupcake became part of this women's writing group called the Luna Chicks. And the Luna Chicks was ran by a lady, we won't say her name publicly anymore. And
Okay.
she was a control freak. She didn't want anybody to do anything, and she was a lot of drama. She'd been kicked out of everything, which I didn't know, 'cause I didn't know the politics of the city at that point. And we were up at Mountain Springs, and she and Fireball got into a verbal shouting match in which she threatened to throw Fireball off the side of the mountain. And we just said, we're out of here. And we went down the mountain and we said, we're going to start our own club. And Cupcakes was like a real club with like patches and all that. And I didn't even think about, okay, she means like patches. And I said, yeah, we're gonna start our own club. And I had friends that come from the same background as, your family, and in the city, that are influential, and they were my friends. And I just started asking them about the culture and the history and the protocol, and all those things, and they steered me in the right direction. And we had been a group for about, I don't know, a year, I think. And I asked one of my mentors, one of my big brothers. I told him I wanted to go to the COC, and he tried to talk me out of it. And we went and we presented and we went through the process. And I'll tell you what, the reason why we were allowed and why we got the thumbs up, or what some people call the blessing, was that we rode our motorcycles a lot outside of city limits. We were in the culture. We were standing in front of DMV getting signatures on the anti-profiling. Our club was responsible for over 1,000 signatures that year on the anti-profiling survey. And so when I saw personally firsthand the discrimination, the legal discrimination against motorcyclists. I'm a big constitutional person. And so even in our bylaws, we talk about what we stand for, which is the freedom to associate, ride, dress with what we want. Those amendments and those protections, I hated hearing about profiling. And a couple of times we got pulled over for no reason other than where we were coming from that day from an event. And so that infuriated me. And that
Mhm.
drove me to really want to get further involved in the culture. And so we have a big group of women now, and our big goal is to inspire more women to kick the door open, not like the motor maids did back in the early days with Gloria and some of those others. But we so bling is not about sparkly things. Bling life is an acronym for my club and what we do. The B stands for being beautiful inside and out. So I'm a real anti-bully kind of person. And so you can be a beautiful girl, but I say maybe you should eat some of that makeup so it could be beautiful inside. L is for loyalty, I is for integrity, the N is for no fucking drama, and the G is for giving back in the community that we ride in. And that's who we are. You put up a pretty cool picture of the Opaka Debbie. Well, you put a picture of the take whatever it was.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that was there's a local nonprofit here called Barn Buddy Rescue, and there's a farm. And we had done a charity ride with another club here locally, Riders United, their annual, and we went to go see the farm, and they had done a fundraiser for the farm. And when we got there, Sharon, who is the owner of the farm and the nonprofit, she said, I want to show you guys something. Come back, and I want to show you Debbie, the Opaka. And I was like, okay. So we go back there, and she had just rescued this group of Opakas from a woman that passed away out in Pahrump. And one of them was deformed, and had knocked knees. And she said, I need money to get Derek from the Wizard of Paws, which is it's a TV series where Derek, this orthopedic surgeon, his somebody had asked him to make something for a dog that was missing a leg or was lame or
Yeah.
something. And now there's a whole series about it. Well, Derek needed $1,500 to make braces for Debbie the alpaca. And so I said, okay, let's go. Let's pass the helmet. Yeah, get your wallets. Let's get some money together for Sharon, for Debbie. And we raised enough money that day with what Riders United had raised to get Debbie's cast and things, and also to care for her and feed her for the rest of the year. Well, they decided they wanted that as an episode, so you can go to Wizard of Paws and put in
Oh, cool.
Debbie, and Bling Divas were featured in that along with others in the writing community. Bling Divas, I guess, just makes for good TV. So there were a lot of motorcyclists that were involved in it, but they did feature us, and we got to ride with Derek. Derek was on a little scooter with his dog, and so the opening scene, you can see all these bikers with Derek with the dog, and anyway, it was just it was fun. And we continue to stay close with Sharon at the farm and do an annual fundraiser for her.
That is awesome. And I look forward to meeting all your Bling Diva sisters. I am going to come out and see you. I am a motor maid. It's a little different. Like, it's not an MC, it's an INC. I ride with ladies who have been doing it forever. And again, I know about profiling and all those things because starting out as a rider in the 80s, I've seen it all, been there. I've had face first on the concrete. I've, the whole 9 yards. So I get all that. But what you're doing is I have the utmost respect for it because, again, like I said, you've earned it. And my hat's off to you because I respect that. And that's another reason why I wanted to have you on the show, is because I respect the shit out of what you're doing. And like I said, your club mantra, what it stands for, what Bling stands for, is incredible. That says it all right there. And to be part of something like that, a bunch of very articulate, smart, giving, kind, take no bullshit, don't want no drama women. Listen,
Yeah.
I'm going to come out and ride with you guys just to hang out.
Do it.
I'm looking
So our
forward
white
to it.
cuts were fashioned after the
After the
Moto
Moto Maid.
Maids.
That's funny.
Yeah, I met Gloria out in Sturgis before we had patches, and I was so inspired by it. And when I saw the white, I loved it. I fell in love with it. And there are women that it's a deal breaker that they will not become divas because they don't want to wear the white cut, which
Right.
is, I understand it. People say, how do you keep it clean? I was like, how do you keep your ass clean? You wash it.
That's right.
That's how you keep it clean. But I met her down in Deadwood. She was she signed a book for me, and I said, "What would you mind if my club wore white cuts?" And of course, I didn't really know a lot of motor maids then, and I've met so many beautiful women since then. And she's like, "Nah, girl, you do whatever you want." So I came back saying, Gloria Strutt gave us permission to wear white cuts.
I love it. That is awesome. She's an amazing woman.
She
Lori, her
is.
daughter Lori, is going to help me get her on the show. Lori doesn't like to be on camera. She'll be like off camera, but we'll get to hear from her. So yeah, I'm
That's
looking forward
great.
to that.
She's
I
almost
love
98
she'll be 98 in July at convention this
Yeah.
year. Yes. Yep.
Yeah,
We
she's
talked about it in
definitely
Daytona.
one of my sheroes on motorcycles, one of my, people that I love, my inspiration.
That's awesome. We're going to get to that question for sure. So I think you covered the first couple for me. So we know how you got into motorcycles, and we all know now what sparked your passion for it. So now, being divorced. I love that. That was very good. I'm never going to have to use that ever, but well, maybe for the past two. I'm on third time's a charm. Third time's a charm.
There you go.
Don
It's your last.
Yeah, he was the best man at my second wedding. Turns out he was the best man for the job. So it's good to go.
Perfect. Hats off to
All
him.
right. Yeah, he's pretty good. Excuse me. Okay, so your favorite rides, your favorite motorcycle, and your favorite route to ride.
So I really like riding in the Black Hills of Colorado or of South Dakota. I love it out there. I like the twisties, and I would like to go when it's not as busy as it is during Sturgis
Hmm.
because the riding is just so packed and crowded. So I've never had the opportunity to go there because there's always so many other things going on throughout the year. So I'd like to go out there. I love to ride in Colorado, the $1 Million Highway through Durango and up through there. That's beautiful riding country, and there's some really nice hot springs out there. So you can ride, and then you can find a hot springs and soak and then ride a little bit more. I'm getting ready to go out again to the In Cahoots Southwest Quest. And that's always a highlight of our year. And
That's
I'm
a
gonna
women's retreat, right?
it is. Yeah, it's fantastic. And that area in Echo Ridge or something in Mancos is a really great area. Bridie does a beautiful job putting on that retreat. I'm gonna be a guest speaker again this year. This year I got even more to talk about. Gonna, maybe inspire some more women to
Good.
get in their best health and do some long rides. So yeah, those are probably I haven't done a lot of riding on my motorcycle on the eastern side of the United States. I've rented a bike a couple of times. I got to ride in Hawaii. I got to
Oh,
ride, in a couple of other places like that in the United States where I flew in and rented a bike. But there's a lot more riding to do in my lifetime for sure.
and what's your favorite bike so far that you've ridden?
So if I'm not going too far, if I'm going less than 150 miles, I have a beautiful breakout with a big 250 rear tire and a
Hmm.
23-inch front tire. And it's super fast and fun and zippy, but I can't ride it very much because the drag bars and the particular angle on my back. When I saw the bike on the floor at Red Rock Harley and it had this big tire, went on to put a bigger tire on it. I got on the bike and I was like, does this tire make my butt look smaller? Um, but I think my butt makes the tire look smaller. So then I went to the 250. But that bike, I love to ride that bike. And I'm kind of naughty on that bike because I can stand up on it and, do outrageous things. So I don't ride it that often. It spends a lot of time on the trickle charger, but I love that
Okay.
bike. But my everyday ride, I ride a CVO Street Glide now. And it's built for comfort and marking miles. I'd love to fall in love with a road glide, but there's just something about the fixed fairing that just freaks me out. I get vertigo when I'm
Hmm.
going this way and the bike's still going that way. I don't know. It just freaks me out. I rented one for a whole weekend up in Colorado, went with Lori Montoya and her husband up to Aspen and all that. And I tried to fall in love with it, but it just wasn't for me. But that new Road Glide 3 trike,
That
that might
looks
be for me,
interesting.
just not yet.
Yeah, that looks interesting. It does
Yeah.
look interesting. I'm gonna demo one of those this year, I think, and do a review on it. So I'll figure that one
Yeah.
out.
Yeah,
So
for
okay,
sure.
so we covered a couple of those questions. So I know how the Bling Divas got started. So does everyone, and your history with ASM, the Road Guardians. So the next question is going to be, what's your favorite event?
So my favorite motorcycle rally event is the Rocky Point Rally in Puerto Penasco, Mexico. I
Oh.
like to ride south of the border. My girls, we love it. We sponsor an all-female ride-in motorcycle show out there each year, and it's a blast. the ride out there is about 500, 550 miles.
That's
We
not bad.
cross it. We cross the border in Yuma, Arizona, and then we take the coastal highway down to El Golfo. We have lunch at this little spot that every year the girls tease me that your boyfriend's there. He's been there every year and he gets us tacos and fetches beers and stuff for us across the street. And then we go to Rocky Point and pretty much park our bikes at that point because you had that picture of me with the tray of tequila, and you might have
Yes.
thought that I was bringing shots to everyone, but that was like my tequila poo poo platter. That was for me. And so I love tequila and I love Mexico. And the girls and I, so every year there's a charity ride for local charities there and for the local Red Cross. And Oscar, who is the founder of that ride, I met him about 7 years ago, and he asked if we would come back the next year and be the parade marshals for that ride. And so to see women leading a group of 1,000, 2,000 motorcycles in an international rally is really kind of fabulous. And it speaks to women progressing in this industry and in this sport and in this passion. We are the largest growing section. And so we started doing things. I was a motor journalist for Quick Throttle magazine, and so we got Mike Cup to sponsor that all female ride and ride and bike show. So that's probably my favorite time because we get to shine. We see international motorcycle clubs and international female clubs that we only see them during that time of the year. And it's there are some people that we have grown some really cool relationships. There's this little girl that her mom, I mean, they want to give you babies to hold. It's the weirdest thing. They want, here, hold my baby so I can take a picture. And so about 5 years ago, this woman asked if her little girl could sit on the motorcycle. I'm like, absolutely. Let's put the helmet on her and stuff. And now each year she brings her daughter out to the motorcycle show. And each year we take her something new, whether it's a pocket bandana or, a bling bandana. And she's 11 or 12 now. And she's an example again of the things that our club likes to do with young girls. We have every year we partner with First Step Nevada and we do a tea party for at-risk and underprivileged young ladies. A big section of them come from the Clark County Foster Program, Child Haven, and we put on this really cool event. And it's been restricted to 50 girls because of the venue, but this year Mitchell was able to help us find a bigger venue. And so we're going to get to host 100 girls on April the 15th. And they come and it's fancy. I mean, it's high tea at the Ritz-Carlton. It is really, really great. And the motorcycle community, we started a few years ago asking them to sponsor a teapot, teaspoons, bell creamers, different things that we needed for this tea party. And they always answer the call, always. And so now we have a pretty good collection of teapots and everything that we need. We have 100 of the most beautiful teacups that people donated from their moms and grandmothers and things. And then Lori Montoya every year helps us find the best price on fascinators, the little
Oh yeah.
fancy hats. And there's a place in Los Angeles called Sonia's, and they make beautiful custom fascinators. And Lori was able to negotiate a pretty good price. They're not even on Amazon, they're like $10, $15 a piece. But through her connections, she was able to get us a really good price. And we were able to, I put the call out and I said, listen, I need $750 to buy fascinators for these little girls. And just in a matter of hours, I had enough money to get those, to hire a photographer, to buy more paparazzi jewelry. We do a jewelry drive, and we ask people to donate gently used and new costume jewelry. And so we set up a little store, and they come in and they get to go down the line and pick, all the jewelry that they want, and then they get gloves and hats, and they go and sit down, and then we serve them. And um and then right after, towards the end, all of us girls go back, and then we change into our Bling Divas motorcycle clothes. And so we go from, tea party finery and gloves to, and they love it. They are so wowed by it. And then we always get reports back from Clark County, from the home, and they say the girls do better. They do, women do better when they have support. And so we're there for them like big sisters. They have our phone numbers, and so that if they ever get into trouble, I guess last year there were 6 of them that had planned a jailbreak, basically. And they were not going to get back on the bus. They had been planning all week that they were going to find some way to escape from the Tea Party. And they were having such a great time that they went to the director later and said, hey, we were going to run away, but we had such a great time that we didn't want to leave. And so, those are the kind of things that make it all worthwhile. So
That's
anyway, if
amazing.
you're anywhere near us and you've got costume jewelry, you can drop it off at Full Throttle Off. You're listening to this. We never have enough jewelry and purses and, whatever.
Same thing. And if anybody wants to donate any of that stuff, shoot me out an email and I'll get you an address to send it to. Please don't hesitate. We all have some of that stuff. I'll send you some. I got some for sure.
I love it.
All right. So our next question is, this is a good one. What is the most fun you've ever had on a motorcycle?
So everything I do is fun, except when it's 118 degrees in Las Vegas. That sucks. But so Soldiers for Jesus Motorcycle Club here in Las Vegas, Kenny, he's the owner and operator of Boulder Choppers, and he's become a really good friend to me and a really good friend to the divas and the firm. And he helps us do confidence course riding for girls. He provides um, a venue for us to do women tech nights with oil changes and brake changes and all that, and how to pick a motorcycle up. And they go to Sturgis every year. They have a booth there, the Soldiers for Jesus nationwide. And a couple of years ago, I asked if I could ride with him to Sturgis, and he was a little apprehensive, but he didn't say no. And I rode with him out there. I trailered home. I wasn't physically able to go up and back. I didn't have enough time. It wasn't the physical.
Yeah.
I just didn't have enough time. And so this year was my first time to ride to and from Sturgis, and I rode with the Soldiers for Jesus and another woman rider, Mean Jean Bollinger. And Kenny's GPS didn't work as good as it probably should have. And one day, we go to Colorado. So you don't have to go to Colorado to go to Sturgis, but we go to Colorado because he's got a group of brothers there, and then we ride to Sturgis. And so the next day was supposed to be an easy day, and his GPS messed up. Now Siri's telling me exit now, and the next exit she's telling me exit now, and he's still going. And I ride up to Jean and I'm like, WTF, and she's like, she's giving me this motion. So I think she's saying, just let the boss be the boss and you just follow wherever Kenny's. But she was really saying, go tell him. I can get up there and tell him. Well, we saw the welcome to Wyoming sign
Oh
twice
shit.
because we went 300 miles out of the way, and we pull into a gas station, and I'm like, dude, so I saw I had 16 miles till I ran out of gas. And there's nothing in sight. And then I see 14, and then it gets to 7, and I'm panicking. And then when it gets to 7, I'm like, I hope I run out of gas. Miss the turn 10 times. Now I hope we run out of gas. And so we get there, and I say, what happened? He goes, listen, I was a little stressed out about it, but then I saw one of the brothers praying with the guy, and I knew this is where Jesus needed us today. And I was like, if Jesus tells us to go to Florida tomorrow, I'm out. I am not listening to Jesus tomorrow. But I think that's probably one of my most memorable rides was, chasing the soldiers for 2,500 miles. So in that week, I rode 3,100 miles in that week, and that was at that time was the most miles I had ever ridden in 1 week. And so when I think that I got to triple that in July, and all I wanted to do was get off that bike and not do motorcycle shit for at least a week. So that's my most fun that I've ever had is just riding with those guys and praying each morning, and just, it is a wonderful group of guys, and the fact that they let a couple chicks, chase them for that far was great.
That's awesome. So then the flip side of that, what's the worst experience you've ever had on a motorcycle?
Probably my motorcycle accident.
Mm.
So I was on December of 2019. I was leading a pack of probably 35 bikes, and we stopped to do a crossover. Uh, it's a divided highway, like 75-mile-an-hour speed area, and I said to the pack, I put my hand up and I was like, here I am, watch, wait for me. Well, a truck thought I was saying, wait for me. And so 3 cars going northbound got into an accident because he just suddenly put his brakes on, and he got hit. The second car um, swerved and grabbed the front of my motorcycle and pulled me out into oncoming traffic. And the third car T-boned me, and I fractured a couple vertebrae in my lower back. I hurt my knee, and so that's probably my worst experience. But did you die? No. And as
Right.
soon as I could um, open my legs far enough, because I broke my coccyx and my S1,
Oh.
S2.
Mm-hmm.
So the cop was like, "Are you okay?" And, pardon my French. I said, "No, I think I broke my pussy. I think it's
Right.
broken in there
Right.
because it hurt
Even
up
if you
there."
whisper, they can still hear.
And so that was my worst experience on a bike.
Okay. Okay. And yeah, that usually is. I mean, there's I get different ones, but at least we all have a story. And when we tell the story, other people learn from it,
Yeah.
hopefully. And that. Okay. So the next one is, who is your childhood hero?
My daddy. My daddy's always going to be my childhood hero. Bart Hibbard. He taught me how to be kind. He taught me how to trust everyone. He never passed a hitchhiker, even with us little girls in the car. And he is a very kind man. He's the baby of 15 children, and he burned his hand like severely. He spent 2 years in his early childhood at Shriners Hospital. And so his hand is, very deformed, yet he made a living as a heavy machine, John Deere tractor mechanic, and he still works every day. He still goes to work. He's 78 years old, and he worked 2, 3 jobs to make sure that us girls who grew up in Welton, Arizona, which is where mobile homes go to die, a
Mm-hmm.
very poor farming community, and, we had trapper keepers, when, the little zipper thing. People thought we were rich and we weren't because my dad would change somebody's motor so that I could have a saxophone, and so he taught me that there was nothing I couldn't do ever, that being a girl wasn't gonna stand in the way. The only thing that was gonna stand in the way was my mind, and
Mm-hmm.
so I get a lot of that get up and go. He's the Energizer Bunny still. People say, "Oh, how do you have so much energy?" I'm like, "I got it from my daddy."
That's awesome. Well, shout out to Dad. Okay, next question is, who is your motorcycle hero?
Okay, so, we talked about Gloria Struck. She
Mm-hmm.
she was, definitely one of mine. A modern day hero would be, one of my girlfriends that I'm gonna be riding the 48 state ride with, Jean Bollinger. You can follow her on Instagram and Facebook. She has over 1,000,000 miles on a motorcycle and over 500,000 with her dog Cricket. She's a lot of fun. She's inspirational. I don't think I could do this 48 state ride without her. She's really gonna, she's done that. She's someone that has had to change her tires every month. 1 year, because that's how many miles that she rode. Um, Recently, I've been hearing about Lily Farrow, who is, somebody that uh, at her age 20 opened she was the youngest person to open Harley dealership, and
Oh
you can find
yeah.
out more information about her in the Iron Lily project. There's fundraiser efforts to write her story. She passed away, I think, in like 1984, but she's one of those pioneers that, I just heard about, and I'm really, really interested in what she did. You know, she started the Buckeye Motorcycle Club back in 1924, one of the oldest uniformed, costumed
Right.
motorcycle clubs. So I just want to hear more about her. So, if you can get more information at the Iron Lily project on Google it and you'll see. But
I'll
she's a
check
pretty
that
cool
out.
chick.
I will definitely check that out. And I would like to get Lori Montoya and Mean Gene to come on the show, and we should do some
Yes.
interviews with them. So maybe you can get me the hookup and we can
Oh yeah, you
talk
you
about that,
got
because
it.
if they inspire you,
You
I'm
got
already
it.
inspired just talking to you about them. So that is
God.
awesome. Okay, so our next question, you get two because nobody can ever pick one. Your most cherished motorcycle memories.
So for my 50th birthday, I I don't always get to get my grown children together at the same time because they live in different areas. My oldest son lives here in Vegas now, but for my 50th birthday, they came out and the four of us went on a motorcycle ride. We went out
Oh,
to the Pioneer. Wasn't a really long ride, but we got to spend a few hours together out on the road, um, the four of us, and mama and her three little baby ducks following. And I'll always remember that. I would love to take a trip with them. But that's probably one of my most cherished, moments on a motorcycle. In fact, I don't as many memories as I have, marking 1,500 miles in 30 hours with my VP choke, Jess. Looking in my rear view mirror and looking at 15 beautiful girls sparkling riding hard together and in this synchronized pack arm and bar, that any given Sunday, those are my treasured moments, just looking back there and just going, golly, man, we are really badass, we look so good
that's
marking
awesome.
miles together.
That is awesome. Okay, so if you could go back and tell your 25-year-old self something, what would that be?
Listen and respect chronological credibility. They're trying to save you from yourself. They learned the lesson already. Just respect chronological credibility, and you would have so many fewer mistakes. That's
Okay,
it.
I
Just
like
listen to
that.
your elders.
Right. Okay, if money didn't matter and you could take a road trip on your motorcycle anywhere, where would that be and with who?
I would do the 48 states in not 10 days, maybe 100 days, a couple of months, and I would try to stop at it's been done. Stop at every Harley dealership. I mean, Adam Sandoval does it for our vets. But I would take that 48 state ride again, and I would take a lot more time and take a lot more pictures. Just really see the incredible United States. There's beautiful places
Hmm.
right here. And when you're on a motorcycle, it's different than when you're in a car. I went through Yellowstone a couple years ago on the way to Sturgis, and I I had been to Yellowstone many times in a RV and in a truck, and I didn't appreciate it. But when you are really exposed to the beauty of riding in Yellowstone National Park on a motorcycle, it smells different, it looks different. So, yeah, I think I would do 48 states.
Who would you take with you?
Maybe I'd recreate it and take my 3 kids. If money's
Mm,
not an object, we
not an
could
object.
we could pay for them to take a little more time off work, and
And then you
yeah.
could go glamping. All of you could go glamping.
Yeah,
That would
we'd
be,
stop at Marriott's across the
I
nation.
love it. That is so awesome. All right. I don't know if you were listening. We had tonight's question, the Ask Athena question. And if you have any input on traveling, the best way to pack, young ladies, where she's riding a Road King from Texas to Laconia. It's her first long distance trip. I suggested a Saddleman tactical bag, boots, suggested, tied laundry strips. And yeah, we have some good ones. So, what's your input on that?
Less is more. Don't take anything with you that you can't buy at a Walmart somewhere, if you need it on the 5th day, because I'm the queen of overpacking. If you say, "Hey, can I use your makeup remover?" Absolutely. "You got a Q-tip?" "Yeah." "You got a flosser?" "Yeah." "You got a hair mask?" "Yeah, absolutely." "You got 10 pairs of Converse?" "Yeah, I got it all." And I don't know how I get it all in there. So, as I'm preparing for a very long ride, I have a strategy that I'm going to take things that I can when you get to the end of your trip, you get more fatigued, and
Mhm.
so I pack things that I can leave at the hotel. So I pack a couple pairs of jeans that I can live without. I travel with a pack of wife beaters that I can sleep in after my
Yeah.
shower, and I can leave the old one there. I can leave my socks, and if something happens, it's okay. I left it. Um, yeah, I would say, take things with you that you can leave without, so that as you get closer to the end of your trip, you are carrying less weight.
Yeah, I agree with that. I also forgot to tell her UPS is a wonderful thing. Postal service. You can
Yeah.
ship anything home. You know what I mean?
We
Even
ship
send
we
it.
ship everything to In Cahoots.
Mhm.
We mail we mail you have to wear costumes and decorate your doors and, all that stuff. We mail it there.
Yeah.
And,
So you don't have to carry it
in
all with you. Right.
air mattresses, sleeping bags, towels, it's all stuff you can live without. Get an extra sponsor.
There you go. All right. So tell us something good about yourself that others may not know. I don't know if you have any of that. I think we know a lot of good stuff about you. There's got to be
I
something in
am
there,
an
though.
amazing cook.
Okay.
Um, I have a chicken and dumplings recipe that people would pay to have, but they can't have it,
Hear that,
except for the
babe? We're
3
going to
people that are gonna
Vegas.
cook it for my funeral. Of course, I want chicken and dumplings in my funeral, And so, there are 3 people that are tasked with making chicken and dumplings at the funeral. And I twirl baton.
Do
I'm a
you?
baton twirler, and I
That is
recently
awesome.
got another baton so I can, get back to twirling and dip stepping with the baton.
Hopefully, you're going to post a video or 2 of that because that's
Yeah,
going to
you
be
got it.
awesome. I can't wait. All right. So, of course, this is home of the 5 good things. So, if you give us your 5 good things tonight, 5 good things in your life, in your day, in your week, you're grateful for, whatever it might be.
Um, so I live with an attitude of gratitude. I'm so grateful and so thankful. I have lupus, I have RA, and so I'm very grateful that I still have mobility to be able to ride a motorcycle, to do the things that I do. I'm super grateful for my children, my stepchildren. Combined, I have just had my 10th. Well, I didn't have him, but 10 grandchildren. So I love my family and my children. I'm grateful for my honey, Stevie B. He is my best friend. He is always in the shadows pushing me to live my best life and try try things. So I'm really super grateful. I can't imagine my life without him. He's my soulmate. Um, I'm very grateful for the Keurig coffee machine because I can get coffee fast, super fast.
I love it.
Let's see, my sisterhood, my divas, my beautiful, beautiful Pink Nation sisterhoods, and again, all the people that I've met in my life because of motorcycles. Hmm. I don't know if that's 5,
That
but
was 6, and I like it. I like an extra.
okay, good.
It's like 13 for the baker's dozen. That's amazing.
Okay, I like
All
it.
right. And so, what's the best way for people to follow what you're doing for your ride? Will you be posting to Facebook? Or you tell us
Yeah,
how to get you?
absolutely. So you can follow me on Facebook. Everything I have on Facebook, it's all public. So there's nothing private about my page. You can find me Shannon Dazzlin Venturo, and on my Instagram, it's HD Dazzlin. So Harley Davidson Dazzlin. I did create a smaller community page off. It's called 48 States with Dazzlin, 48 States in 10 Days with Dazzlin. There's about 100 people on it, but I am posting the workout routines and how
Okay.
I'm eating to be able to get stronger and, be able to do this ride. But the best way, I'm more of a Facebooker. I'm trying to get better at Instagram,
You're
but
like
I'm
me.
not super good at it.
It's okay.
I'm a old girl, and
They say
Facebook was
that's for our
so that's
generation, is what they
yeah, so
say.
you can watch me on social media.
And I will share her links on our Facebook pages, all of
Thank
them, so everybody can follow along. I can't thank you enough for being here and letting us get to know you. I'm just ecstatic. I know everybody's inspired now because it was an incredible show. And I hope that one day soon we'll get a chance to ride together and hang out. I'll be following
Yeah,
you. If there's
I
anything I
got
can
bikes, so when
do,
you come out, you can ride one of mine.
okay, I might take you up on that. But if I can do anything, if you need anything at all, if there's something you have a question about, or if anything I could do to help you and along your journey in life, whatever, just don't ever hesitate just to reach out. If you're
Thank
doing
you.
any of your events, if I can help you get sponsors, if I can sponsor something, if I can do whatever I can do, I love to participate. I love to do good because it's all about being a good
It
person and doing the
it
best you
does
can.
feel good, right?
It does. It fills you up.
There's
It
a
makes
lot
you
of good
full
people,
inside.
a lot of good bikers doing so many great
So
things.
many good things. So I thank you so very much, and I will talk to you
Yeah.
soon.
Thank you so much. Be well. Much love and respect.
All right. We'll be watching. Cool.
Thank you.
All right. Everybody, how wonderful is that? See, I am so lucky. And just motorcycles, it brings people into your life that are incredible. So we're going to get on with the afterthought. Um, be thoughtful. Okay. I know it sounds cliche and it probably is. However, it's just a reminder. Everyone can appreciate the gesture and it costs absolutely nothing. Okay. Just a moment in time. Do you appreciate someone out of the blue sending a kind message or taking time out of their day just to say hello? How about when an absolute stranger holds the door or someone says to you, you look nice today, makes people feel good. And we could all use a little bit of that. So as always, I'm honored to be here right now, right here, doing this little show. Don't forget, smile big, spread your sunshine, be kind to yourself and others. It matters. Please participate in the show by sending your 5 good things, cool stuff, events, charity programs in your area, questions for Ask Athena for a little bit of biker chick perspective. And the email address is on the screen. And please keep it positive. I know some of the weird ones. Maybe we'll do a bloopers one and do all the weird ones that some of you send. So it's pretty cool. And don't forget to follow on Facebook. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're almost to our custom channel name. Share, please share. And stay tuned for more great guests. Thanks to Miss Dazzlin for joining us. And thanks to our sponsor, Techno Research, and our advertiser, Seaside Subs. We have more coming, so that's exciting. And thank you all for tuning in. I'll see you next week, 10 p.m. Eastern time for another great guest. I love you all. Love to everyone. Good night and chopper on. Mwah, mwah.